here. Make sure we've got a good view. And wait for a few folks to get on to, this is the last thing I get onto this live. The last thing I drew was this, I'm gonna create a Mexican Madonna. And this is part of an infinite zoom drawing, and I will go ahead and move out so you can see the focus on this is clothing, and it's all across the globe and across time. This is an Indian sari that I've drawn here. And as we zoom out, we go to the Tang Dynasty, where women horseback riding was common. I should stop here and show you where I have added a few names. There's Grace. I haven't added a whole lot of names to this one yet, so looking forward to having people drop names in the comments so I can get every drawing filled. This is a Mayan dignitary. I have no names in this one. I just started coloring it in, and I was thinking that I could add some detail down here, and that I definitely could do some beautiful name writing down in that green space. Still waiting for some folks to join the live stream here. As we zoom out, we go to a drawing about Freya the goddess. It's done in a Celtic style. Freya was a Norse goddess, and a lot of the carvings and the graphics that you find in Celtic, you also find in Nordic art. So Freya had she had two cats, and I would love to put somebody's name on the chin of this cat. It's like a lot of times they're depicted as lynx, and the cats that she had were called Beagle and Tragical. I know that I pronounced that wrong. And then she had a boar, which was sort of a warrior boar, a battle boar, and that Hildisvini was the name of the battle boar. And I don't think I've added anybody's name to Hildisvini. Hildisvini has so many places we could add a name. So there's potential with this drawing to add lots and lots of people's names to it as I continue to color it in. I'll be working on this drawing for a long time. Oh, there's Ronaldo. He joined our live stream a few days ago and asked to have his name put in this. Now, I see a bunch of people joined, so it looks like YouTube got me up, so you could click on me. So this is an infinite zoom drawing. The focus is on dress, clothing, fashion across the globe and across history. This is an ongoing drawing that I keep working on. Before I leave here, let me just show you I added Zoe's name right there. Zoe left her name in the comments. So if you want to add your name to this, just leave your name in the comments, and I will go ahead and add it. And when I'm not adding names, I'm just going to be coloring in this drawing. This drawing's taken me several months to do. Here's a couple. There's Luke's name there. I was thinking it might be nice to put somebody's name right in this spot right here. So I look forward to folks joining so they can become part of this drawing. And I'm going to take you out to the very beginning, and I've got Sam here on the collar. I think that this is the Neolithic period, and I think we need to add somebody's name right into the eyes of these wolves. So I'm looking forward to who that might be. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I'm going to get into drawing here in a couple minutes. So let's see. I think I'm going to work on... I have bookmarks here to take me places closely. I was in there working on... Huh. It was past the sorry. Oh, I don't have a bookmark yet. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the next level of this. So I'm going to bookmark this as the Mexican Madonna. I don't think I have that bookmark yet. Not seeing it. So we're going to add a bookmark and I'll rename that. Oops. Stop. Allow paste. Let me rename. Yeah, my delete button wasn't working. I'm not sure what that was all about. Okay, so we've got that one marked, rename. And that's kind of where I left off drawing last, and so I'm going to pick up there. Just remember, if you want to become part of this artwork, just add your name to the comments, and I will, just a nickname, anything you want. It can be your friend's name if you want, and I'll add it to the drawing. So let's see what layer I'm on here. I want to go to this layer, and I'm going to start drawing some more of this pattern work. So that is a little bit, the line isn't quite as thick as the others. Let's go here, maybe this, there we go. Thanks for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I was going to go for a walk with a friend of mine today, but I fell asleep and then woke up and I had sort of a scratchy throat and I was sniffing and coughing. So hopefully that won't start up again as we're drawing. It's that time of year, everybody goes back to school and all the germs kind of start flying. And we all are susceptible. So you should be able to see a welcome to the live chat somewhere there, and you are welcome to make comments, add your name, ask questions. That one looks, it's just a little bit too big, and it's because I was so far away. It made the line bigger as I drew the line. There we go. Thanks for stopping by today. I see a lot of people coming and going. I really like my channel, my live channel, to be a break for people as you're scrolling through. There can be some pretty intense things on live, and I think it's nice when artists get on and they just draw. It gives people kind of a break from the noise. Hi. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. If you'd like me to add your name to the drawing, as I have added many names to this drawing, just leave the name you want me to add, a nickname, a friend's name, in the comments, and it will be forever part of this drawing. I'm actually thinking about, oh, from Moscow. Well, thank you for stopping by. I'm actually thinking about using my live drawings to do an exhibition somewhere. And I would actually like do close-up, because I can do a close-up photograph of a person's name. Let me show you what I mean. So let's go out here where we've got Cairo's name on the top of that necklace. I can just ask it to, oh, sorry, wrong button, export as an image. And I can choose exactly how I want that image to look. And so I could like make it look like that. Maybe show the bottom of the necklace too. Let me change that. There, that's a pretty good, oops, I cut off Cairo's name. So I'm just gonna export it like that. And I export it as a JPEG. Now I'll just save it to my images. And so with that, it's in my photos now. There it is, Cairo. Oops, X. Let me go to my photos again. Yeah, there it is. And so, I mean, this one, I would probably, before I turn this into a piece of artwork, I would probably clean the drawing up. I would probably tidy up any of these lines, you know, clean that up, close anything that's open, and maybe add a little more texture to it. But I think it would be really fun to make several miniature pieces of artwork that go with a large piece of artwork that would be installed and shown in a gallery somewhere or a museum. I think that'd be a cool idea. Okay, so let me move out here. I forgot what I was on my way to do something. I don't know what it was. There's Grace. Grace was added to the drawing. I was thinking I could use some more texture on all of this leather work, and names could be part of that texture. And then as we move out here, I don't have anything on the Mayan dignitary yet. I do have a few names here. I've got Shah, and then I also have, I put someone on the dragon's tail, Zorro, which I'm like, is that actually someone's name? Or, you know, it's their nickname, evidently. So all of these drawings are in different stages of being colored in. And yes, there's Ronaldo. I do draw all of this. And this program, there's someone here, Ham. We put Ham in here last week. And as we move out here, here's Zoe. Zoe's on the eye of Horus. I think this is the eye of Horus, but I don't know. I don't remember what that symbolism is there. I was thinking we could use somebody up here on this headdress, maybe in that spot right there. Whoever that lucky person will be. So right now I have a list of names that I'm supposed to add, and I've written them down over here on this piece of paper. because I did a short this week and it said add your name, and it was basically from my last live. I made a short from it and it said add your name, and I didn't even think about it that people would add their name in the comments of the short. So I had to collect those names, and now I'm going to add those names into the drawing. This is a hobby for me, sort of. I've been doing this for many years. I've been drawing for many years. I'm 64 years old. I've been drawing since I was 3 years old. I went to school for it. My day job is different than this. My day job is working for a design build firm, and I manage the design department. So, it's not directly art related, but it's design related. So it's very satisfying. But I still love to draw in my free time. And so that's what I'm doing here with this infinite zoom. So now I'm going to add a couple names here to let's see, let's go with a darker brown, a really dark brown. And I will add Njabulo, Najabulo. And I have to get on the right layer, so it's going to be up here. Oh, I did that wrong. The J comes first. Njabullo. There. That person is now forever part of my drawing. And I think we'll go to the other wolf and add another name. So we'll add Isabel. All right. There's Isabel and Njabulo. Njabulo. I love getting international names I don't know how to pronounce, so I apologize for that. So let's move into the next drawing. I think it would be good to put a name where I said on the bird's feathers right here. So I'm going to get on the right layer, get up here and go with a nice dark, we'll see if this dark gray works. And let's put Melee there. Let me know if you want me to add your name. Drop your name in the comments and I will do that. Okay, so let's go to the next. Oh, Miriam. We have Miriam. I need someone else on this other shoe right here. So let's choose that color. And we will add Miriam's name. Ooh, it's just going to fit. Perfect. Then I have quite a few. When I first started this, I didn't add the names to the drawing. What I did was I created a separate box over here and I added people's names here. And I'm like, the next week, I decided I'm not going to put them in this box. I'm going to put them right on the drawing. So now I kind of want to go back and catch up on these names, and I've written them down over here on a piece of paper so that I can just go ahead and start adding them to, so I think we'll add a couple to the boots. I think we'll add Waden. To that boot. And then we'll add, Anderson is kind of long to fit in there. So let's go to a different drawing to add Anderson. I think we'll add Anderson across here. Anderson. And Janesta. Janesta is next. That's where, let's put Janesta. Oh, this is interesting. I think I might do a little fixing right here. Let's see. I have these pink circles behind all the green dots, but I don't have it. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of fixing here, I can tell you now. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, and then I'm gonna go back here and grab that green. You like it? Great. We like it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then what I'm going to do is add Janesta's name in here. I think I need to clean that up a little bit. Okay, so the next person that I'm going to add is Patrick. And I think I need some detail along here. So let's use this bright color here. And let's add Patrick here. Let me clean that up. And there we've added Patrick. If you want me to drop your name in my drawing, my infinite zoom drawing, please just drop your name or your nickname in the comments and I will add you to my drawing. So I've still got Josh to go So we'll go in here. And I was thinking on the Grecian armbands here, I don't have much going on with names there. How about if we do it right here? And the way I'm going to do this, let's see what layer I'm on here. Let's go to this layer. I am going to grab the right color and bring this armband out here. Use my eraser here. And we've added Josh. So next, I have the last one I have is someone who had requested that I write Duncan the artist. And so I feel like Duncan the artist needs a special place here. Let's go to the next drawing. We'll go into the Eye of Horus. I don't have anybody on Hildesvini the pig, the boar, the war boar. So let's add Duncan the artist here somewhere. So it's a lot of words. So I think I'm going to add it right across here. And I'll just go ahead and grab the black. Make sure I'm on the right layer here. I have to turn it here just to get the right. There we go. We got Duncan the artist in on Hildesvini. Freya's wild boar. Battle swine. That's what Hildesvini is. She's a battle swine. That's what she's called. Okay, that's the last of the names I have, so I'm going to go back to coloring in this drawing. I always have to think about where I'm going in here. Yeah, and I feel like on this right here, I could definitely add some texture to this. And let me get on the right layer. We'll go on this layer. Thank you for the comments. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate people stopping by and checking in. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm a really small content creator. I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm actually, well, let's just look here. Let's just go on YouTube. Maybe we can watch it change before our eyes. Right now, I have, view my channel. I have 989 subscribers. And so I need 11 subscribers to hit 1,000. I'm so close. Because 1,000 is one of those thresholds YouTube wants you to get across with your, you know, before they start considering you a legitimate channel. All right, so let's add some details here to this with the green. And check my layer again. I'm on the right layer. don't know if you can hear the pounding. Somebody's doing some. I live in a condo, and every once in a while, you can hear construction. Just checking my comments. See, how did I do that other one? Okay, I turned to, when it got small like that, I just went ahead and made the whole thing go a dark green. I like that highlight in there though, so I might add a highlight here. And these birds, so I've got a couple birds in her, on her sleeves that I'm gonna have to clean up. They're pretty messy right now, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go to my black and white layer, and I'm just gonna start cleaning up some of these lines that look a little messy. So, I just got a notice that said from Canva saying, it just went across my screen. I don't know if you noticed that. It said, thank you for your purchase. And I'm like, I haven't purchased anything from Canva in several weeks. So I got to go check that out after I get done here, because fraud is everywhere. You never know when somebody's trying to fool you. It's unfortunate that people have to do that with their lives. There's so many better things to do with your life than fraudulently take other people's belongings. I had somebody get a hold of my credit card number a couple weeks ago, so I had to go change everything. And where I work, someone got a hold of something there. So we've like instituted all this heavy duty security now so that we don't have people taking our stuff. Okay, this bird is cleaning up nicely. I'd rather go a little bit extra and then come back with the black line and clean it up, rather than leave something that I don't want that I have to clean up later. Okay, this is kind of confusing what's going on here. I'm trying to create the idea of bird's feet, and I don't think I've got that happening here. Let me redraw that. And so that's the bird tail right there. And then the bird's foot is running into the tail. So let's see if we can fix that so it's a little clearer. This is the bird's leg. The second leg. Here's the first leg here. You know, this may not make total sense to you. It makes sense to me. I wonder if I should just separate that tail. I think I should. Let's separate the tail. That'll help the legs be more obviously legs. There. Okay. Yeah, I've got the tail separated over here. So again, let's clean this up and make it like this is a really nice little leg. So these need to be a little thicker, so let's use a little bit thicker line. Okay, pretty abstract, but I think it's looking okay. Go back here and define the bird's body a little bit more. Whoops. Oopsie. And I am just going to make this a super colorful bird. I might add a few more details to define the beak. Just double checking my comments that I didn't miss anything. Thanks everybody for stopping by. And you hung through that cleanup of the birds. I'm just looking at the difference between these two. Well, they're definitely different, but I think that's okay. They're pretty much that, you know, they're kind of the same, kind of different. Oh, I need to clean this up here before I stop on the cleanup. Oh my. I just went a little bit wonky there. Just trying to clean up the roughness on these lines. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So I might drop down here and just add a few colors. I think I want to add that kind of nice, rich, yellowy orange for the beak. If I go with the thicker, it'll color in a lot faster. And this is also, if you don't know anything about layers, I'm on a layer here. I'm on this layer down here. The black lines were up here on this layer. So I'm underneath. If you think about a see-through paper, tissue paper, it's like layers of paper. And you can see through to the layer below. Okay, so I still have a long way to go on there. I'm just, for the folks that just joined me, I'm going to just go ahead and give you a feeling for what's happening in this drawing. I'm adding names to a drawing that I've been working on for a long time. This is clothing across the globe. And for instance, this is a sari from India. I added Cairo to that name on the necklace. And then we go to the latest one I've started drawing, and I'm not done, obviously. Like you can see, it's very unfinished. And this is going to be a Mexican Madonna. That's the last one I've drawn. I have more that I'm going to do. There's a Spanish style I want to capture. There's a Renaissance woman, you know, sort of a European Renaissance fashion. I also want to do there's an African queen that I can find some imagery on so I can learn sort of what that look is. I want to erase that little blue dot. And this is the quick way I zero in. I'm like, there's the dot on layer 4. I'm going to erase that dot. There we go. Okay, so going back here, I want to work on the blue lines, so layer 4. And I'm going to grab this color. Don't forget, if you just joined me, you can add your name to my comments, and I will add it to my drawing. And you can forever be part of this infinite zoom drawing. Oops. Sometimes it's you don't know which layer the colors are on. So I've got to go in here and do a little bit of cleanup on that. Here and here. Okay. Thanks for joining, folks. So I'm noticing like little crowns people are leaving next to the comments. I think those are little gifts. If anybody understands what the crowns are, would you please tell me? Okay, so I changed her skin tone to be a darker skin tone somewhere along the line, and so I need to go in here and fix that on the hands. So we're going to go here. Did I check my layer? I did. I'm on layer 1. Okay. I'm going to guess that's on layer 1 too. Let me erase that. Yep. Okay. Now I'll go in and kind of clean up. You know, when I first started drawing on YouTube, I had this one video that I did live, and for some reason, I have no idea. I've never been able to figure out why YouTube shared it so far and wide. Because I actually have a lot more comments on drawings now than I did on that one. So it doesn't really make sense why. But that drawing, YouTube sent it out to like thousands of people, and I had like hundreds of people in my live while I was drawing. And then it continued to be really popular after that for a few weeks, and it kept getting more viewers. And I've never had that happen since, but it's nice to see like, you know, 5, 8, 10, 20 people, 15 people here at a time, taking a breather in their scrolling to just watch someone draw. I know obviously I'm an artist, and I will scroll sometimes, and I always stop at the people who are drawing because it's just it's kind of mesmerizing, and I enjoy watching other people draw. We might leave a little bit of a light highlight here and there. Okay, I don't like how that line is fraying. And that has to do with the pressure sensitivity of the nib. I'll clean it up. But like here, I'm thinking I might want to add sort of a light highlight right there. And then I'm also going to go back. Oh, this looks like it needs some help right here. Let's just fix that. There we go. I'm also going to add a little bit of highlight for fingernails, because fingernails are always lighter. Even on my hands, and I have pretty light skin. Okay. Now I have to do the whole other hand. I'm not sure I feel like doing that right now. Kind of the fun of this kind of drawing is I feel like there's, you know, there's not really any rules. You can do whatever you want. You can zoom. It's just going to take forever to finish this drawing, and I'm going to keep adding on to it over and over and over. So I can just come in and finish things when I feel like finishing things. Okay, so that's actually on the same layer. So let me grab that color. Whoops. That color. Fix that. I have two colors here so that I can switch back and forth. It's a nice feature. Nope. Hi, Stumpy. Stumpy, do you remember where we put your name? I don't know if you're still here. I just looked up at my comments. It was on the orange cat's cheek. Okay, let's go out there. So I've added this Mexican Madonna since you were here. Been working on that this last week. Let's go out to the orange cat's cheek and find Stumpy's name. We're getting there. It takes a while. Oh, it's on the next one, I think. No, yes, here we are. Okay, here's the orange cat. There you are, Stumpy. You're where the whiskers are. I actually need to add some whiskers right here. I'm gonna stop what I was working on and go here. And I think I'm gonna add some black whiskers. Go down here to black, and I may regret this. I may want to turn these white, so I may hit the back button. We don't want to cover up Stumpy's name, so we're going around it. Oops, went right over your name, Stumpy. Undo that. Do I like all those whiskers? I don't. Back, 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 back. I'm going to try the opposite. I'm going to try adding white whiskers. And maybe I'm going to use a really small pencil. And, whoops. Oh, that I like. I like that a lot better. I hope you said ooh to the white, not the black, Stumpy. Okay. Going back in. So I never figured out how to get rid of this photograph. I was demoing the thing and I imported a photo, and for the life of me, I cannot get rid of it. I can't tap on it and highlight it. Like, oh, I'm not going to add any more photos. So what I did was I just drew an airplane as if the airplane was carrying the photo, following the bug. This program is rudimentary, I think is a good word for it. It's so basic. You just have 3 brushes, an eraser, you can add photos, you can have some minimal layering. There's an eyedropper. They do have palettes in here. You can open it up and you can go to palettes. Like they've got a whole derma palette, so skin color palette. And then you can make your own palettes. I think I made this Fiesta palette by adding colors with the plus sign. Or you can do these traditional ways of getting to the color subtly through a different kind of a classic or a disc style. It's all the same thing. You're just choosing colors, just in different ways of organizing them. And you can switch back and forth between 2 colors, which is convenient. And then a forward and back button. It's like such a basic program. Super basic. Okay, we're going to go back in here to the Mexican Madonna and work some more on her clothing. We're going to get on the right layer. There we are. Okay, I might switch over to the flowers for a little while. What layer are flower details on? Sometimes it's hard to tell because this is so small. So what I do is I go to the layer above and I turn things on and off. I'm looking for those light pink lines. Okay, maybe it's on this layer. Yep, they're on that layer. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do is just stay on that layer, eyedropper that color. We're gonna go to a little thicker line. Now these, I'm not sure those are on the same layer. Let's see. I guess they are. We're still on this layer. Okay. I think what I haven't done is I haven't drawn, I need to draw the green vine. I think maybe I should figure that out really quick. I'm going to go to this green line here and check my layers again. So I'm on that layer there. I think I want to go on this layer. It's kind of thick. There we go, and then I got to add some leaves. I think we want this leaf to come over the top here. There. Went to the funnest party last night. I got invited to a friend's 50th birthday party, and they really love to dance. They've been a dance instructor in the past. They dance. It's all social dancing, not like interpretive dance or anything like that. It's all about dancing with other people. They've spent like their whole life connecting other people to dance. So there was a lot of dancing. That was super fun. If anybody out there goes to parties where people dance, drop it in the comments. I love to hear about if other people have similar experiences. Okay, and I think we need to like make this a little more deliberate, that it's just wrapping around her skirt right there, and we'll add a few leaves this way. This program really is like drawing with a magic marker. It's so basic. Okay, I think I'm going to go back to working on these roses. I just had to kind of figure out what I was doing there with the background vines and leaves. I'm not sure I like that light green I did up there. I may end up changing that. Thanks everybody for stopping by. And just so you know that you have the option of dropping your name in the comments, and I will add it to this drawing, which is an infinite zoom drawing. And you can see here, there's Cairo's name I added to the necklace. In fact, I actually want to add a little bit of detail to that so it looks like it fits more. So I'm going to go here to to the black layer. And I'm just going to add this to it. Go back to this where I wrote the name. Grab that green and do that. Now it feels like it fits a little bit, but it's actually part of the drawing. I'll go out here and show you a little bit more of this drawing. Here I've added Grace's name to this Tang Dynasty horse with a woman riding. I haven't added any names to her clothing yet, and I still have a long way to go on this clothing. I kind of love the patterns from, if you look at Chinese art and Chinese tapestry, there's some beautiful patterns. And then this is the Mayan dignitary, and I basically went to a Mayan color palette. I have a lot of coloring left to do on this one, and I really like getting into this sort of super bright detail contrast palette. And then we move out to Freya, Norse goddess, done in a Celtic style. The eras were similar and close in graphics. Ronaldo is on the Eye of Horus, which is part of a Grecian urn. And this Grecian urn, and also Stumpy's right here on the cheek of that cat. And that's inside the crystal ball held by an Egyptian character. And I think, we added Genesta here. It'd be great to add somebody's name in pink right here in this hot pink color. If you want to leave your name in the comments, I could add it there. Patrick, we added down here. And Zoe, we added here. And as we move out, I think we're going to find one person here. Maylee is on this bird. And then we will go out and see some people on the sandals. Miriam and Luke are on those sandals. So my viewers become forever part of my drawing. This infinite zoom drawing that I don't know when this drawing is going to end. I've got a long way to go. Lots of more costuming across the globe to add to this drawing. And then we added Njabulo, and we added Isabel to the eye of that wolf. Okay, so I am going to that was my last painted. Go in here and we'll continue working on the flowers for the Mexican Madonna. I want to thank everybody for stopping by today. Got a couple thumbs up. I've had a couple names dropped in the comments for me to add. Really appreciate it. I'm a small YouTube channel trying to grow. I teach pretty much everything I do for no charge. This is just something I love to do, is to make art, and I found it's so easy to work on an iPad. I am also going to be putting out a video, a very short video on taking art from the digital form, printing it on using an online printing format on canvas, a stretched canvas, and then how that is when it shows up. And then I also want to show you a piece that I did that way, entered it into a contest or into a juried art exhibit, and I was selected to show that piece. So I also entered 3 other pieces that did not get into that juried art contest, but it's possible that they just take the best from each artist that they bring in. I don't know. I'll find out when I go to the art show where the opening, and I can look over everything closely and see what how many paintings there are and what the artists are, and I'll be able to see if there's duplicate pieces from some of the artists. I know there was some really beautiful ones when I was there that were being dropped off. Can't wait to see them all together in the show that's coming up. So this is just in the next town from where I live. The art studio is Jansen's Art Center. I think it's a non-profit art place. I mean, it's kind of interesting how you can take a blob like this, just a pink blob, and then by adding a few strokes, it's all of a sudden it says roses. It doesn't say pink blob anymore. Ooh, I've only got one more to go. These roses are like therapeutic to draw. And I want to encourage anybody out there that thinks that they might want to start drawing again. A lot of times people draw when they're a kid and then they stop because they get busy with other things, or could be they get discouraged because it seems too hard, or somebody says something negative about their artwork. And I think I'm kind of here to say to people, just draw, whether it's on a piece of paper or you're never too old to pick it back up. Excuse me a minute. I have a little bit of I think I've got a little bit of a bug going on. So I'm not happy with that green. I think it's like I think this green is like too bright compared to the other one, and I want to see if I've got that. I think I've got it on this layer here. So if I go like this with a big eraser, I can erase that green and not erase anything else. And I think what it is I like I like what I was doing. It's just the green was too much of a contrast. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask for a lighter green, but not that much lighter. So let's see what we do now. That's still pretty light. Go back here. Let's just go up a little bit. There we go. That works. Yay. How detailed do I really want to get on this? Like I could be here all day if I decide to go that detailed. Do I want to? It does look pretty good. Kind of defines those leaf shapes. Just going to check my comments quick. I haven't had a comment in a while. Feel free to drop your name or your nickname in the comments and I will add it to my drawing. You will be forever part of this infinite zoom drawing. So I know I want these lines here. And I'm pretty sure I want these lines. And then maybe another one there. And there. So sometimes, I don't know if you watch any other infinite zooms, but things can look pretty messy. And I think it's because when people start doing infinite zooms, they're like, they have this urgency to finish them. And because the possibilities are endless on an infinite zoom drawing, I noticed that a lot of the Zoom artists get a bit scribbly, and I've done it myself, trust me. I am not criticizing anybody. But I think the reason that happens is because of this sense of urgency to create something finished and recognizable. Whereas if you stop and you slow down on this, and if you think about it, I could say, why in the world would you put all that effort into something that you're just going to zoom past, right? Look at that leaf. All these little leaves, they're, I mean, I might not zoom into them for another 3 months. When people come by to see my drawing and I'm showing it off, I might not zoom in on that ever again. But there is something meditative about putting the details in there and just putting the time in that it takes to do that. I don't know how to explain it. It feels good. And so for anybody who just joined, I will just give you a quick tour of the overall drawing. Some of the names I'm adding, there was Cairo. Here's Grace's name. Feel free to add your name or your nickname into the comments and I will add it to my drawing. I kind of love that my viewers are now part of my drawing forever. I think we need to have somebody's name right across here. I don't know whose name that'll be. So I'm just going to do a quick zoom through here to show you the different names that I have added. There's Shah, and we'll zoom out here to the next layer. We have Ronaldo. We've also got Ham in here, and on this drawing we also have Stumpy. We added Stumpy right in between those whiskers. And as we move out, we find Zoe here, and we're going to find a couple people down here on the shoes, Miriam and Luke. And we finally get out to the Neolithic age where I included Sam's name on the collar. So that kind of catches you up on the drawing. I'm going to use my bookmark here. I can go to Mexican Madonna Greek YouTube viewers. I have a list of YouTube viewers. Medieval dragon, or the Celt dragon. Sari, Tang Dynasty, Egypt, Bronze Age Minoan, Mayan dignitary, and then start with Neolithic and the timeline list. I'll just show you, this is a very messy timeline list, but you can see I'm going to be working on this for a while. So the Mexican Madonna, I actually could, I'm going to use a thinner line. I can cross that out. I've got that underway. So the next one is Renaissance woman, and then there's an African Queen Amina I want to put in here, and then I want to do the Elizabethan era, and then followed by Malinzin of the Spanish time period, and I know there's a lot more I can do after that. So let's go here to the last painted. Oh, it thinks that was the last painted. Okay, so let's go all the way back to the Mexican Madonna. And we'll keep working on that. So here I'm thinking, my thoughts down here is that this is going to be a giant rose, and she's sort of standing inside of the rose. So I haven't really worked all that out yet, but I will. I might go right here, and I might choose that darker and start drawing this rose. That's a little bit small. So here's where I want to make these intersect completely. And then I'm going to clean them up by going back here. And then I get to make some decisions about how do I really show that this is her skirt inside of that flower, coming out of that flower. And I think the way that I do that is I have a little bit of overlap. Which I'm creating right here. And I can do it with this one too. There, it sort of feels like she's kind of coming out of that now. And then we're going to go to, where are those green leaves? They are way back here. I think I want to actually draw right on that layer because I want it to go behind these gold rays. So I'll go to this dark green here and we're going to start. Ooh, interesting. I don't want that. Hmm. I might go even a little more on the shading here and go just a little bit lighter. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. You can barely see it. I wonder. And it's on the layer behind. I'm going to go with a nice thick brush and just start adding some variation there. I just went outside the lines. Well, that's okay. That's what erasers are for. Oops. I don't want to erase the blue too. That was a mistake. There we go. Well, that's kind of interesting. And I think I also want to go down here. I'm going to darken that color just a little bit. And just add some. I'm not liking how it's overlapping. I just want to add a little bit of color variation. It's pretty subtle. I'm probably gonna sometimes I feel, I haven't seen anybody add their name. Let me know if you want me to add your name to my drawing. Sometimes when I'm doing the live, I feel like I don't want to make mistakes, so I have kind of a hard time experimenting, but I'm just gonna do it here. I want to create some definition around her face. So on this layer, I think I'm going to add some highlights. And so I'm going to go to this skin tone and I'm going to go quite a bit lighter. I'm going to go to my smallest brush and I'm just going to add some highlights. Now, I would not be doing this if I hadn't watched a few makeup videos. And I noticed that makeup artists are always adding a little bit of light, a little bit of shimmer to the inside of the eyes for some reason. So I'm adding that. Just trying to get her face to have a little bit more definition. Oh, and then we should add a few highlights to the hair here. Let's go pretty light. Oh, that's a little too much. That's not working for me. Let me go to that one there and go up a little bit from there. That's more what I was thinking. Her eyes need some, they really need a little bit more. Gotta go lighter with those eyes. You know what I've done in the past is done a lot of colored dots on eyes. I'm just gonna try it and see how it looks. I can always draw over the top of it. I'm going to go back with the dark brown in a second. We're just going to go a tiny bit lighter. There we go. Put this darker one to the outside. Okay, now, oops, I'm going to go to a smaller dot. So her eyes are becoming a lot more interesting. I'll do some cleanup here. I think I want to add, I'm going to go over here to this yellow. I'm going to go to my medium dot and add just a little bit of that color. And then go to that super dark Okay, and then to do a little bit of cleanup. Don't think I like that one. I'm gonna have to turn my tablet. Some of the other art programs I work with, they allow you to turn the drawing, but this one doesn't. This one is, like I said before, it's rudimentary. So clean that up. Might as well fix let's see, where is my black on this one? It's right there. And I want to go choose this dark brown color and add that one around the outside. Oops. I want to point out something on this drawing that I learned by watching other artists on YouTube. I've never been a portrait artist, and so when I decided I wanted to start drawing people in my digital art, I went on and looked at a couple of portrait artists. I feel like this circle's a little lopsided, and it probably is. And one of the things I noticed that they did was they added a water line on the bottom, um, on the bottom eyelid, which I like. I think I like how she's turning out. I have been on here for quite a while drawing, and I may stop and get some food. I have to change the color of that hand. I have to finish all of the clothing details here. And I know I want to do something with these dots going around here, these gold dots. I feel like I want to maybe do some sort of a, just go with a darker gold, maybe like this, and do sort of a repetitive. Let me see if I can. Get the idea of it. And then zoom out and see how it looks. Sometimes, like, I love that the program now allows my Apple Pencil to have a variation in when I push. It's a pressure sensitivity thing that's working now on this program with my Apple Pencil, and I'm very appreciative of that. But sometimes it kind of globs the art, which is unfortunate. Let's see if I go like that. There we go. Yeah, that's, I think I'll probably add those little flower shapes all the way around. I like those. Kind of like the heavy detail, heavy patterning. It's just something I enjoy. So I'm just going to take you out here. And before I leave, I think I promised you that I would show you the painting that just got into a juried art show. And it's a painting that I did here on my iPad. I use the Adobe Fresco program. This one is Zoom Art. This is the program I'm using right now. And as you can see, it goes on and on. It's a vector-based program. The Adobe Fresco program is also vector-based, but you can also do pixelated brush strokes in there, which sometimes are more nuanced. You know, they look more like painting than what this is. This is more of a magic marker look. So let me go over there to Fresco and I'll show you that drawing. Hopefully I can find it without too much trouble. So Fresco right there. Oops, didn't work. Fresco. Okay, and the drawing, my files, it might take a moment to find it here. It was the ladybird beetle drawing. Here we go. That's a copy. Let me go to this one. It'll take a moment. My Apple Pencil is down to 68%, so we'll let that charge for a second. Thanks for hopping on here with me, folks, and bearing with this while this drawing loads. So this is Ladybird Beetle is the name of this drawing, and I entered this. I printed it on Canvas Champ, and it came, I'll show you here another canvas that I did. Here's a similar, so I printed it on a really nice canvas. It's wood frame, then the canvas is digitally printed with my artwork, and then this one I hand embellished. But with this one, it was bigger. This one's just a 9x9. It's pretty small. This one is a little bit bigger. It's 14 inches wide by 24 inches tall. And I printed it the same as the one I just showed you. And then I signed it and sent it off as an application to Jansen Art Center, along with 3 other paintings to get into the juried show. And this one got into the juried show. I don't know if I had an animation of the beetle that I wanted to include in the link for whoever buys that painting, because I did do an animation of a beetle, and it was last summer. I was so fascinated, and I'm hoping I'll find it here without too much trouble. I was so fascinated by how beetles, which I didn't realize flew, I never paid attention, but they're flying insects. They don't just crawl, they fly. And so their wings, those really colorful backs, which have the red with the black dots on it. Here it is, ladybug wings. It's going to take a moment for it to load. Those wings, so the black dots, the red backs to the beetles with the black dots on them actually fold up, and then these wings come spreading out. And I'm going to show you, I illustrated it because I watched some YouTube videos of ladybird beetles, ladybird beetles, which are ladybugs. And I'm going to hit my motion tool here so you can see play all. Uh-oh. Pause. What's happening here? Oh, okay. I've got a bunch of layers hidden. Let me see if I can fix this really quick. And if I can't, I can't. Oh, interesting. I didn't do this the same way that I do other videos. I think so. Basically, you can see there that the ladybug's shell goes up and these wings come out. I'm going to see if I can. I might have to go to my videos to find it. I'll go to my library of my videos. That was a scary picture. That close-up was very scary. Okay, I'm going to go way back here to last year. Got so many videos. This was in the spring. I make a lot of videos. I went through a dancing phase and I was doing videos and turning my artwork into my dances and my dances into my artwork. That was an interesting phase. Okay, we're getting close. It's back here. This is last fall and summer. There's Halloween. So somewhere back here is the video of the, here we go. So fierce. Yeah, stop. So that was the ladybird beetle video that I made that goes with the painting. So if somebody buys a painting from me, they probably will find an animated video that I will connect them with. So that concludes it for today. I've got a little bit of a sore throat. I think I'm going to go rest and get ready for the week. It was really great. Thank you, everybody, for coming on here. I really look forward to doing this again and adding people's names to my artwork. I really appreciate the comments, the thumbs up, the subscriptions. I'm trying to grow my channel, and every little bit helps. So thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye-bye, everybody.